Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua has been trending for better part of this week, and I think rather 2 weeks ago. And this is after breakup with the First Lady of Machakos, Lilian Mutua. And when it started, we were treated to a very modern breakup where we were told that when people break up, they still support other people's initiatives. They still support other people's projects. And of course, they all went public and stated that it was time to call it an end. But as no one will ever preempt, that breakup is being commodified and is now seems to be something that is going to be persecuted in the political arena. Welcome to this channel, and today I just want to talk about 4 points that I think are really lessons that politicians need to learn from Alfred and Lilian's breakup. Guys, each and every day people break up, and so the Lilian and Alfred's breakup is not isolation. It's not the first one. But then it is in the limelight because of the stature of the two that are involved. So let me just bring you up to speed with so far what we have known about that breakup. When Alfred Mutua was talking, and I think he was speaking at Classic 100, at Kiss, not Classic, but I think it was at Kiss, we overheard him saying that they were in a long-term relationship with Lilian Nganga, and they have been together for the last 8 years. Remember, this was after Alfred Mutua separated with his first wife, and actually that case was persecuted, was actually resolved in the court, and the wife took the custody of the 3 children that they had together and flew to Australia. So that is personal, and I wouldn't want to go there. But then they have been together with Lilian Nganga, and they have been coming in public, sharing photos, glamorous events, attending events as couples. And actually, it was among those couples that share the couple goals in public. But then, maybe Alfred Mutua did not know that that was a recipe for chaos coming. Guys, one thing that I want politicians to learn: keep your relationships private. The reason why you need to keep them private is because as a politician, you have many enemies and many friends. And political history in this country, there were stories of politicians that were brought down just by their relatives, their spouses, their children, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that, the reason why I think, and I'm not trying to complain or rather to blame Lilian and Nganga for having gone public about their union, because again, by the stature of the offices that the two of them were holding, they were to be in the public domain, because there was a governor and the First Lady of Machakos County. So when you expose your relationships in public, they can be used against you. Remember the story of Abby, William Ruto's baby mama? Of course, it is a story that was taken for political capital. And all this came when it was his electioneering period. So, Lilian Nganga and Alfred Mutua relationship, as much as it was just supposed to be known at the level of being the governor and the First Lady. I know many governors in Kenya who I don't even know their wives. I don't know the First Ladies of those counties. Some counties don't even have First Ladies. So constitutionally, I don't know whether even the position of a first lady of a county is in the constitution. I stand to be corrected. But when you put your spouses in public, those can turn to be used by your enemies to bring you down. I'm not trying to say that Lilian Ng'ang'a was used by political detractors of Alfred to bring him down. But what I want to agree with is that at some point, the reputation of the governor is being tainted. And coming out to talk about that breakup was just one way to tell people that, you know what, I don't want the rumor. And as a communication person, that's why Alfred Mutua came up to speak about it. Secondly, take charge as a politician. Take charge of anything around you and protect your name. Yes, Governor took charge of everything, and that's why he came up and communicated about the breakup. He told the people that, look here, I have broken up with Lilian. He organized the party, and after telling people that the breakup was civil, and of course it was a very harmonized one that was not in chaos, he even organized a party, one of its own. And remember, he said that was his first birthday party he ever celebrated in public, and brought in the lady, invited the lady. Lilian came and played her role. And people actually thought that maybe they're still together. But that was done to show the general public that they did not part ways in chaos. But after that, there have been this other. Lilian came out and shared photos with singer Giuliani. And after sharing those photos, and of course they later confirmed they are an item, they are dating, or if not, they are not in relationship. But after that, there was a message that was sent, a death threat message. So that is where Alfred Mutua's silence is not taking charge. Because the fans and supporters and people think that maybe Giuliani is being threatened because he was threatened to stop posting photos of her with Lilian Ng'ang'a. So of course you cannot detach the threats and the breakup. So I think it was upon the governor to come out and communicate and say, here, I have to stand. He has to detach from those allegations of the threats. Because everyone now who supports the relationship between Lilian and Giuliani seems to be pointing a finger at the governor. While from where I'm standing, I don't even think that this is something that the governor will take. So taking charge will be very well, because again, the reason why he has to protect his name is because this breakup is largely in social media. And the people that are involved here are people who are so active in social media in the name of Giuliani and the people around him. So I think he really needs to be very careful and make sure that as this story evolves, he's also in the loop. If there is something the governor should come out and put clear, let him come out and speak. Let him not allow the propaganda to take the space so that people shall make their own judgments in this story. I believe, and you cannot detach this, that at some point, Alfred Mutua shared his presidential ambitions with the wife then, Lilian Ng'ang'a. And guys, my point here is, trust your dreams with the right people. I think for having stayed with the lady for over 8 years, this is someone that the governor had known very well. And of course, sharing his presidential ambitions with that person, or his political ambitions with that person, was in the confines of the trust they have. And the reason I'm saying this is this way. and I just want to be human, not any analysis here. If you know that someone you date or your husband is eyeing the largest political seat in the country, for example, let's take an example of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is vying for presidency, but the next morning you hear a case, or least expected a breakup with Minpin, Mama Ida. How do you think people are going to take Raila Odinga as a person? And so this breakup, I'm very sure that Alfred Mutua did not want it to happen. But then, as Lilian once said, that the wind of change blew her mind. That's why might be the governor gave in to those demands and accepted to let her go. Because this is going to be a political capital to his distractors. Remember, Mutua have intended to vie for presidency, and Raila Odinga is working closely with him. Actually, he's one of the largest political leader, the most established, prominent political leader who attended his birthday. And in Ukambani, Kivutha Kibwana is also there. So the fact that if he's going to go to the national stage with this baggage, I want to call it a baggage, or this luggage of Lilian breakup, then the political communication that how can you govern a country while you cannot handle a relationship. So the reason why he needed, and I think maybe this breakup would have come earlier, because for now other people might argue that Lilian Nganga is being used by his political competitors. So I believe the governor should actually share his ambitions with the right people. Lastly, don't fight a battle that involves the youth. You saw that this was really a personal thing between the governor and Lilian. But the fact that Lilian actually moved in with a youthful person who is a celebrity, actually my point should be, don't fight with celebrities. Because for once, you have seen that Giuliani have actually amassed a fan base around him. And actually, his support system, Boniface Mwangi, one person who has been so vocal about this breakup, I don't know for whatever reason, the youth will tend to behave as if it was a competition between the young people and the adults. And that is why if you look at what's happening online, people are there, a particular cohort of people who are really celebrating Giuliani and actually feeling like, you know what, love, it's about love, and it's all about young people, that young people are so energetic, and people have even gone to the extent of trying to insinuate that it was because of the basement issues. Maybe, and that has gone there. So I think as leaders, don't ever introduce, if you know that it has involved Giuliani, it has involved a celebrity, then it's at that point that you just stop it. Because with the celebrity tag in it, it is going to spread as fast as possible. And actually that is why it is trending. If it will be that maybe the Giuliani in this context will be someone who is little known in the society, then you can easily get away with it, and of course no one will really care. But the fact that people know Giuliani makes it really a clash between Giuliani's fans and the governor's fans. But lastly, and this is my opinion, is that it's not really an advice to leaders, but it's an advice to people in such relationships, that people break up. And this is to Lilian, people break up. But the most important thing is that even if you move on, a breakup does not stop a heartbreak. Even if we break up peacefully, But the injury, the pain, the heartbreak still remains. You guys think about what the governor is going through. If you leave alone the reputation injured, the reputation hurt and all that. But as a person, as a human being, I think there is something that needed to be done. And if it was to be handled in a more peaceful way, in a more amicable way, in a respectful manner, then I totally want to support that. Going public and doing posts like seem to be bashing the government on this are a little bit coming too early. But those are my opinion, guys. So what do you think about this? And also you can get down there, what can you tell leaders in relation to the breakup of Alfred Mutua? So tomorrow I am going to ponder around leaders that have been brought down, or leaders that broken up with their spouses and it had an effect in their political career.